do. And as to the question of what will happen in society, the answer is simple. Society will adjust. And Dr. Brown went through a litany of things by saying, like, does this sound right to you, man and man, or what have you? It doesn't sound right to you now because it's not popular. But I guarantee you, if you had asked people years ago, does this sound right to you, a black man and a white woman, they would have said, of course not. Society adjusted, and we're doing fine with interracial marriages. It seems to me that society will adjust and we'll do fine with same-sex marriages. Now, I want to end with a conversation about why I do this, because I'm a straight male, and it seems that I don't have any obvious benefit here. I was talking to one of my friends, and he wanted to know, like, Dr. Smaw, why do you do this? That is, why do you engage in debates on this particular topic if there's no obvious benefit for you? My answer to him was this. I realized that 100 or so years ago, there was some white male who stood up and defended African Americans when they were too small and insular a minority to defend themselves. And I realized that there was some male who stood up and defended women when they were too small and insular a minority to defend themselves. And so here, as a straight male, I stand up to defend same-sex couples and gay people and so on, because they're too small and insular a minority to defend themselves. So I talked to my grandfather, and I'll end with this, about this. I called him up, he's been married 60-something years, and I said, you know, I'm going to be in this debate about same-sex marriage, and older people often have a wisdom that takes time to get used to. He said to me, son, when you've been married 60 years, you realize that it's always the same sex in marriage. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smaw. And as we started, so we will end with comments from Dr. Brown.
Dr. Smaw, I was just about to commend you for a serious close until I got Smaw. I mean that seriously. I do want to commend you for not raising a single moment the issue of hatred, bigotry, intolerance, or making that accusation. I commend you for that, and I appreciate that. I do want to point out that when I said, is gay the new black, and it drew some stickers from some, you notice that has come up a whole lot, even right at the end, because it's an issue that we need to address. So, let me in my closing comments, say a few things. First, just to set the record straight, when I was surprised that the opening comments contained a rebuttal, and then I also said that there was no answer to my position, I was not looking for a rebuttal. I was simply looking for an answer as to why same-sex marriage should be legal, and I personally never heard that, and it didn't deal with the substance of my argument. The fact that Dr. Smaw made an agreement with others, unbeknownst to me or the other organizers, that he would not bring in certain subjects is really unfortunate, because they must be brought up. And let's forget about Canada, let's forget about Germany. As I recall, I quoted from Time magazine here in America, 2007, should incest be legal. As I recall, I quoted from Newsweek magazine here in 2009, what about polyamory, the next revolution? Sexual revolution. Traditionalists better get used to it. I will say it once more. You look someone else in the face that is arguing in the courts in America today for rights to incest, for rights to polygamous relations, polyamorous arguing that children's textbooks should be teaching about multiple parents, Sally and her husband and her boyfriend, and tell them it's equality for us, but not for you. What we have to realize is that this is not just a matter of the government recognizing something. And by the way, the comments about, you know, you modify a class from one year to the next, we're going to modify marriage every year? Maybe we need 30 or 40 or 80 or 400 different types of marriage because everybody's so different. Because no two kids are the same and no two parents are the same. Is that what we want? This completely malleable thing that can just change like clay and be shifted, moved around? You're talking about what kids will be educated by. You're talking about the examples that will be set for them. And you're talking about a society in which if you take issue with it, if same-sex marriage is codified, you will be considered a bigot. Listen to what Andrew Sullivan wrote, gay blogger and author, 15 years ago. If nothing else were done at all, and gay marriage were legalized, 90% of the political work necessary to achieve gay and lesbian equality will have been achieved. It's ultimately the only reform that matters. gay activist out said this in May 1996. The trick is, gay leaders and pundits must stop watering the issue down. This is gay activists. This is simply about equality for gay couples and offer same-sex marriage for what it is, an opportunity to reconstruct a traditionally homophobic institution by bringing it to our more equitable queer value system. The fundamentals of male-female relations are called into question. The fundamentals of gender distinction are called into question. One of the students in our ministry school in Charlotte was teaching 4-year-olds in a preschool. She was not allowed to call them boys and girls because that would be making a gender distinction. At the Part Day School in Oakland, California, they line up children by sneaker color rather than gender, and they use a gender-neutral vocabulary to give kids an opportunity to figure out where they fit. Gender itself becomes the enemy. Gender is, if you even heard the baby factory comment, which was very different, to my mind, very different than only a woman can have a baby. It's very different than baby factory. I didn't come in some way that would be degrading the value of women, okay? But we are talking about gender itself being under assault. I have books by gay activists and thinkers on blending gender and undoing gender, and posters on how to multiply gender, how to eradicate gender. Because the very thing that's under attack is gender distinction. The very thing that's under attack is joining a child with a mother and father. And where's the equality? There's not a built-in equality, even in biological design, that a gay couple simply cannot procreate. It is a very expensive procedure. It is a long-term thing. It involves an outside party, and it's often not easily done. Is that equal? No, it's not, because the things are not equal themselves. Let me say a few more things about religious freedoms. And by the way, check out the research. I'm quite sure that if we went back and forth, that the research I was citing was compelling and overwhelming, and I was quite ready to do it, quite ready, loaded with research and facts and information, and had many tearful conversations with gays and lesbians and asked them, tell me your story. I just want to sit and listen. I want to hear your story. I want to understand your struggles. I've asked an older cousin who's now come out as a transsexual and changed his name from male to female. I just want to sit with you to tell me your story so that you can pour your heart out to me. Listen, the fact that I say marriage is what it's always been for a reason, and it's not equated with slavery, and it's not equated with bans on interracial marriage, and it's not equated with women. We're talking about a life-giving, wonderful institution. We're talking about a man and woman coming together in the beauty of love and producing offspring for the next generation. That's nothing to be trivialized or messed with. And in point of fact, as the Washington Post, April 2009 article, said faith organizations and individuals who view homosexuality as sinful and refuse to provide services to gay people are losing a growing number of legal battles that they say are costing them their religious freedom. And in point of fact, in Illinois, where same-sex unions, civil unions, became the law, immediately a male couple went to a Christian bed and breakfast, and now are protesting this man's legal rights to say we only have married couples here, we don't recognize same-sex marriage. The attack is on. The attack is on, like it or not. Religious freedoms are under attack. Freedoms of conscience are under attack. And we are being told there is no other side to the story. Do not lightly mess with the foundations of the human race. Do not tamper with gender distinctions. Do not play games with something that has always been here for good reason. Nations right now that are experiencing lower birth rates are in danger of fading away. The lower birth rates in some European countries, Japan and other countries right now are such that there is no care and support for the older generation. This is a crisis. The only reason we have adequate birth rates here in America is because of immigrants coming in. When we separate marriage from procreation, responsible procreation, male, female, gender, all this, we tamper with foundations. Don't do it, friends. There's a better way. Thank you.